This is Gary Warren, Marketing Director for the Indoor Cycling Group, and today we're interviewing the National Group Exercise Manager, Gillian Reeves. Hi, Gillian.
Hello.
So the key thing, Gillian, is we're sitting at 200 Aldersgate. We've just had an interview with Tim Foster to go over looking at the business here and looking at the reasons for Myriad Plus, but specifically for yourself as the Group X Manager, what are the main ingredients really for looking at a new product and bringing a new product to your membership?
I think first and foremost, really, as a company, we've really got to make sure we focus on the right things, just first of all, and I think that's one thing that we really do massively at the moment is focus on the big things and investing in products such as this one, such as Myriad, and all the other innovations that we've got on the gym floor. That's the biggie in the first place, to actually focus on the experience and the products will bring a greater experience to the members and keep the members coming back. So that's first and foremost, really. I think one big thing that we've really decided to focus on and get right. And then in the actual rollout of the product, I think it's really important for us to just listen to member feedback. Obviously, we'll get all of the products installed and up and running, and then it's a bit of a mixture really of listening to members' feedback and responding to that quite quickly, and just see what their actual experience is, to then see where it takes us to enhance it for the future.
Great. I think it's interesting that we sort of sat here today and we went through with lots of your instructors that were trying the product, also with the great deal of press attention that this new flagship got. What would you say is the main feedback from your instructors that we spoke to today, but also we spoke to through Ealing, that have been running the product very successfully for the last few months?
Yeah, I think the instructors have just been really excited about the product as a whole, really. It's as soon as you walk into the studio, it's really impressive. You know, that's the first thing that grabs everybody's attention, and it's even from members' point of view, they kind of look at it and are wowed, but the instructors equally so, really. So I think it's quite cool to get their attention and have something that they're really excited about. You know, their buy-in is ultimately really key to the success of the product as well. So the instructor feedback overall has been really, really positive. There's been lots of different instructors that have come on the training. Some of them have taught lots of group cycle classes before, some of them are a little bit newer. And feedback from both of those, actually, that they've been really impressed by the standard of the training, and they've felt that it's enhanced their own teaching skills, really. I think all of them have said it looks a lot easier when they're participating in the class. That they kind of think, oh yeah, how hard can that be? That kind of makes sense, and then they've actually got up there themselves to do it and found that it is a really new skill that they've got to practice. I think they've kind of really respected that and thought, no, I do need to actually put time aside to practice this new skill of teaching with video. And it's something that I think they've all decided to take that challenge on and work on it. They've been really excited as a whole. And
that's very interesting that you bring that up, because a lot of our listeners will be instructors, and a lot of the instructors, like we all have been, if we've been product coaches or instructors, we've worked with mainly music for the last 17 years. You know, so one of the key things that the ICG wanted to do, and it'd be interesting to hear back from you, impartially, on how have instructors found not only the sort of pioneering education that the ICG put together to train how to use video, but also I think the biggest missing component in the past has also been the user interface. How do members sort of respond to those two different elements now they've got something new to work with? Yeah,
well, I think from an instructor's point of view, it's been interesting looking at their I suppose different reactions to using the actual system. Some of them kind of get scared by technology, and similar to our members, really, and it's kind of breaking those barriers down a little bit. Once the screen's going, then they get it's like anything, learning a new skill, that once they get comfortable with it and they practice, they're absolutely fine.
So we've had an opportunity to speak to a few instructors today, and very excitingly we spoke to quite a few instructors from Ealing, the first club that we put Myriad Plus into. a lot of the instructors have actually sort of said how they're excited about teaching again. You know, it's almost like revitalised, you know, a passion to go in and teach something exciting and new. Has that been a general consensus, or is how is the approach from the instructor been?
I think the instructors have been really excited about it. It's added a new dimension to what they're already doing. It's given them the opportunity to look at a new skill as well. You know, it's one thing to learn how to teach a class with music really, really well, and I think some instructors have completely nailed that, and there's great cycle classes out there with brilliant music, and the two are working really well together. And adding this extra element has kind of required them to think, oh, hang on, this is a brand new skill I need to learn now, and it's maybe not as easy as it looks, but quite cool once they've accomplished it and once they've practiced. And you know, a few of them they've said they've been quite nervous getting up there and teaching in this new way, but once they've taught a few great classes, they've really enjoyed teaching in a slightly different way, especially being positioned to the side of the screen rather than in front, right directly in front of everybody. Even that adjustment has made them re-look at their own teaching style. Right. And coach the class a little bit better. It's not all about them at the front. It's about the whole experience for the class. I think instructors have always been fairly conscious of what they're saying throughout the class and making sure they're not talking too much over the music. But this really shows if they're talking too much, because the people are really engaged with the footage, and I think that's only going to make instructors' teaching skills better over time, because they really have to think about what they're saying and when to match what's going on the screen and to match what's going on with the music.
Fantastic. Have we mentioned the members sort of getting infused into the screen, immersed into the screen. How has the members' reaction since launching the product taken to the classes, which obviously is probably the most important element here? Once the instructors buy in, how have those members sort of responded to you as a corporate company, and also the instructors on the floor?
Members have really liked it. They've enjoyed a different way of going to a cycle class. You know, there was one member today actually. She said it's great. She said, usually in my normal cycle classes I go along and sometimes I do close my eyes and imagine I'm just somewhere else, because you know I'm knackered and I'm sweating and I'm just exhausted, and I just want to take myself away from this sweaty room that I'm in and kind of imagine that I'm somewhere else. And she said, this was quite cool because I didn't have to do that, it was right there in front of me. So I think that member really said it all. That's great. And
have they responded to the virtual classes in a similar fashion to the live classes? What's been the feedback from the members?
Yeah, the virtual classes are going fairly well. There's a steady stream of people that are going into each one. That obviously that they're not completely full to the brim like our instructor-led classes. That they're definitely the popular ones at the moment. But the virtual classes are in our off-peak times, and they've been really successful for some people that just want to come along and do a spinning class, do a group cycle class when there maybe wouldn't be one otherwise. But I think the feedback's been positive. It's been quite nice when there's a few people in there as well, all working out together. They still get that essence of what a group cycling experience is, just led by the screen, and I think they've been fine. They've had good workouts.
Fantastic. So we touched on the Team ICG Education that the ICG is working in partnership with Virgin Active on with Tim Foster, but it would be fantastic to expand upon that for our listeners, to explain how both companies are coming together to do a certification program rolled out across the thousands of instructors that you have in the UK. So as one of the major driving forces in Virgin Active behind that movement, it would be great if you could let us know your main criteria for doing that, and also the experience that you're having moving that forward with the ICG and how that support structure is working for you.
Yeah, I think the main focus or reason for us really looking at helping instructors with education is that there are hundreds of cycle classes that go on every week for us, and there's lots and lots of instructors, different backgrounds, have gone on different training courses, and I think we're really wanting to help educate our instructors and just bring them up to a certain level, or even just refresh what they already know, so that the standard of class is fairly consistent across all clubs. Some instructors, it might have been a while since they've done their last training, which this will really help them upskill, and then likewise for people that are fairly new to cycling, it'll be a consistent education across the board really, and just raise the bar in terms of what's being delivered out there as well. So I think that's been a big focus of what we wanted to achieve, and all the online content I think has been it's been received really well. When people our initial groups have had a look at it, it's easy to use, and the feedback's been really positive. So I think that'd be great going forwards, and our aim is to raise the standard of cycling and to enhance the experience for the member, so that if a member attends a class in London, they'd get a similar standard of experience all over the country, in Scotland, in Ireland, Wales, all over everywhere. It could be a consistent standard. Whereas I'm not too confident we've got that right now, but it's definitely an opportunity to take really with the training.
Fantastic. So if there was, as our sort of relationship expands, and one of the key things the indoor cycling group is looking to achieve is a closer working relationship with its operators, what would be sort of the next steps that you would like to see in indoor cycling? Would it be better live education, more online education? It'd be great for our listeners to get your sort of insight into where you think indoor cycling as a group exercise product could expand, whether that be more into the virtual side or maybe more into sort of the skill side of more online learning, etc.
I think there's a bit of both really. There's massive potential with the virtual side of things. We're not looking to replace our live classes with virtual classes, but there's no getting away that it really enhances our cycle product at the moment. It's been well received by members. Out there at the moment, members are used to using video at home when they're exercising, so when they come into health clubs, it's really accepted that there are those kind of style of classes. It's opening up to a wider demographic that might not usually come to group cycle classes as well, because they might feel intimidated by the hundreds of people that are already doing these classes. So it just offers them an alternative to come maybe at a quieter time when they can join in a virtual class and not be yelled at by an instructor at the front. So it's definitely opening up a new demographic for us. So virtual classes I think are really cool. That's a big focus of this. And from a training point of view for the instructors, I think online education is the way forwards, especially with people that have already done a big qualification. Time is precious. If online learning when an instructor has time to do it, I think is definitely the way to go when we're looking at CPD, as well as workshops and face-to-face, but the online learning I think is really helpful for them.
Fantastic. Well, Gillian, thank you very much for your time. We know it's a very busy today with all the press and the media here, so appreciate it, and we look forward to working with you over the next few days.
Thanks a lot.